So let's start. Last week I was adapting my owner tree implementation to the interface of owner tree, so it can work with the preliminary implementation of SeaStor, and was asking Sam to change the interface definition a little bit, and also had a code review and walkthrough meeting with Redek and Yinxin for reviewing the node PR. I will address Sam's comments today, and that's it. Chunmei.
So I think the extend map tree and the LBA tree have the same structure, the layout, and so I just use the template to redefine the B tree node implementation. So I have sent out to Simon to see if this is the right way to share the code.
Share code with which, with whom?
Samuel, and I will paste it here.
With the LBA tree. So a lot of the code doesn't make
see.
sense to share, but some of it totally does. Like the parts that deal with splitting and merging, fixed size, fixed key and value things. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so only the key and the value is a little different between extend map B tree and LBA B tree. So
no, there's another huge difference, Chunmei. No. The big difference isn't that. That's easy to template out. In fact, I already did that. The big difference is that every single time the LBA tree modifies a node, it has to create a new one. That isn't true for your tree.
Pardon?
Every single time an LBA tree splits or merges, the new nodes have new addresses. That's not true for your node. That's not true for your implementation. You can change nodes without replacing their addresses. It's a huge difference. It's the reason you're working on top of the LBA tree.
Yes, the logic address should be the same when you
seriously,
change
the physical address stuff is really complicated. Yours doesn't have to do any of that.
Yeah, but that is only the address, right? We can use template to.
No, I know that. What I'm saying is the code for handling those details is almost all of the code. Most of the code that just deals with B-tree splits and merges is in fixed kvnode.h. Feel free. I mean, like if there is stuff to factor out, go for it. I'm just warning you that that's going to be the part that's tricky.
So, but I think the B tree, for example, the merge and the lookup, the method is
yes,
similar.
If you want to factor out more stuff into fixed kvnode, that would be the right way to do it. I think. I'll respond to your email to that effect.
Yeah, so that is my try to do just the B-tree node implementation. Only the key and the value is different.
Right, so I'm saying that's not true.
Why not true?
Because the key, right? it's not that the type of the key is different. It's that the semantics of updating the nodes are different.
Semantic of updating.
Yes, I think.
Yeah. So when for instance,
if how LBA tree mutated the key is different from the extended map.
Yeah, you can do things I can't basically, and you should do them because they're more efficient. For instance, if you never have to worry about generating a new node, that gets handled down at the LBA layer. Similarly, if you do a split, you can reuse one of the two, and things of this nature. If you read my LBA tree in detail, you'll find it spends a lot of time screwing around with generating relative addresses, and that's why. Like none of that is relevant for you, and it would be hard to template it out. You could do it, but that wouldn't likely be the best way to do it. Anyway, I'll just caution you about that part. I think over email.
Yeah. So let me think again.
Hi everybody. First, I would like again to suggest that I don't know if it's convenient for everyone that we may consider changing the meeting from Tuesday so that we won't have two meetings, one after one in the evening, and the next one a few hours later in the morning. Sam, you were the one who had troubles with Thursday, I think.
I mean, I personally like it this way now. Most people don't go to both, so there's that. This way it's kind of the same meeting, just twice.
Okay, so you prefer to keep Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah. Personally.
Okay.
Like
That's
some
fine.
some days I have early meetings, and this is easier because I don't have an early meeting on Wednesday. I don't have an early meeting the morning after this meeting. Let me put it that way.
Okay. Okay. So I drop that. Like I said a few hours ago, I'm mostly was reviewing PRs, shutdown, and Radex backfill, and a few other small ones. And I'm doing scrubbing now, working on integrating my code into the actual code. That's it for me.
Thanks, Ron and Samuel.
Sorry to say, Samuel? I just pushed a PR for the transaction manager and B-Tree LBA manager initial implementations. It's do not merge just for now because there are a couple of more tests I want to add. But other than that, it's good to review. There is, of course, still a lot missing, but the tests that do exist do work. So it can do things like insert and remove mappings arbitrarily and increment and decrement ref counts. What it can't do is garbage collect or recover segments. So if you write a long enough test, you'll eventually run out of space. It'll crash, but so be it. It's still enough.
By push, you mean you have a PR for them, right?
Yes, I just pushed a pull request for it. It's marked do not merge just now because I still have a few tests I want to add tomorrow and Thursday. But you can start reviewing it now. It's fine.
Great.
Like the LBA tree, for instance, has a lot of tests. It's just the transaction manager layer that doesn't. And I want to add a few things there to make sure that interface works.
Okay.
And like I said, the LBA tree works unless you write enough stuff that you run out of actual space on the drive because it won't reclaim segments. And replay doesn't work either, but there aren't any tests that use it yet, so that's okay.
In short, the TC and the recovery, disaster recovery doesn't work at this moment.
Oh yeah, it just doesn't exist. That's the next step, in fact.
Okay. That would be enough for me to do the test for on the tree.
Yep, this will be enough for you guys to start writing code against it. You can write unit tests against it too. If you take a look at my unit test for the LBA tree and for transaction manager, it'll show you how to set up the ephemeral segment manager, so you can actually do real, actual, honest-to-God unit tests.
Yes, I'm
It's actually pretty convenient.
Okay.
Shehan. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Shehan.
Last week, I modified the clean shutdown PR, and I think it might need some final review now. And now I'm working on the blocking IO for recovery, and this is the branch here. And the implementation is relatively straightforward, and I'm now working on fully testing this code. I mean, blocking IO for recovery code, and that's all for me.
Yeah, last week I'm working on the code to insert into a type 0 leaf. And I decided to organize the node layout with 3 levels for staged lookup. And physically, the layout is not only about the left part and right part, and the right part is further structured to index strings and snapshots in separate levels. And the goal here is to make the partial indexes distinct in all three levels. And I think the design fits the proposal, but the downside is that it makes insertion more complicated considering levels and the requirements from string duplication. The major logic is done. I'm currently working on tests for node insertion and lookup. And yeah, last week I reviewed graceful shutdown. I think the messenger part and the high-level SD shutdown procedure is good. So I approve that PR. And that's all.
Thank you. So you're basically working on the in-node compression of the node tree, right? And using different schema on different layout.
Yeah. Also, the cross-node compression for strings. Because when, for example, for lookup and insert, the procedure needs to remember in parent node, it already compares the string part. It need to remember that, and it will impact the insert and lookup path in the leaf, and that's the complicated part of it.
Okay, cool.
That's me. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
So any questions or comments? Okay, thank you guys, and talk to you later. Have a good one.
See you.
Yeah.
See you.
See you.
Hey, Chenmei, do you want to stick around? No, that's not.
She left.
Yeah, too slow. Later.
Later.